with ratings on TNN steadying at the 5 rating range combined with the road to WrestleMania coming up. Vince McMahon's TV return was the big segment promoted on December 4th in a hyped state of the company address to boost things up heading into 2001, building up to the main event segment throughout the night, trying to talk Austin Rock Hunter and Taker out of the 6-man Hell in a Cell match, with Raw a week later coming off the all-time memorable 6-man cage match on a full unopposed night with Nitro preempted on TNT. Saw the broadcast headlined again by a Vince McMahon segment placed to cross into the overrun after a show-long angle demanding Mick Foley to resign as WWF commissioner, bringing out Foley minutes later, followed by Steve Austin making his first appearance of the night at 11:06 p.m. to see the 21-minute segment going over 10 minutes and the overrun picking up over 900,000 viewers to a 6.1 rating with over 7.7 million viewers, with Raw overall drawing a 5.8 rating in the highest-rated show in the TNN era, breaking the viewership record set on the debut show on September 25 to make it the most-watched broadcast in network history with over 7.2 million viewers. Seven days after going off the air with the biggest audience to ever watch wrestling on cable television totaling over 11 million viewers, Raw facing a major challenge to build on the record momentum with new champion Rock for the first time in years missing a week of WWF television to film his debut movie role in The Mummy, saw the faction coming out for a promo in the second quarter to spike it over 1.7 million viewers, with Chris Jericho in the biggest drawing test of his career to date positioned as the top babyface opposition in 3 matches throughout the night, seeing the faction and Jericho segment with the confirmation of Rock being off the show for the night, in an unusual situation peaking already in the second quarter with over 7.8 million viewers and by far the highest rated full quarter of the night. A loaded card on June 12 featuring all the top players and high-profile matches saw Raw jumping back to record levels with the full broadcast averaging over 8.5 million viewers, setting it up in the opening segment with Linda after a confrontation with Vince to announce the King of the Ring main event, booking Vince and Shane against the Dudleys in a tag team tables match for later tonight, seeing the match placed at the end of the first hour in a coincidental timing going head-to-head with another hyped tag match happening on TNT with Nitro featuring Russo vs. Flair in a hair vs. career match, seeing both matches picking up strong 2-hour high numbers with Flair vs. Russo gaining over 700,000 viewers while the McMahon's Dudleys match drew a 6.7 rating with 8.4 million viewers and Raw's highest rated and most watched opposed quarter in over a month. The culmination of Rock's year-long title chase on May 1st concluded a record-breaking month for the company, coming off the payoff last night in one of the biggest spectacles of all time, with Raw with peak interest expected on the night already hitting over 8.4 million viewers by 9:20 p.m. for the McMahon's faction coming out for the follow-up promo in the second quarter, seeing Vince after recapping the Backlash pay-per-view finish from last night hyping a Rock cage match to take place later tonight, with the segment almost quadrupling the Nitro audience head-to-head with a 7.1 to 1.9 rating margin. With the WrestleMania 16 main event set up as Hunter vs. Big Show 3 weeks to the pay-per-view, March 13 saw Rock's final chance to get into the match with Raw built on him putting his career on the line, offering the Mania title shot against his career in the 21-minute opening segment to set up Rock vs. Show for the main event to start nearly 2 hours of hype, with Show and Rock coming out at 10:54 p.m. going 9 minutes into the 6-minute overrun to set up one of the hottest endings to any show in WWF history, seeing Rock having the match won before Shane's interference just when a limousine entered the parking lot to reveal Vince McMahon making his TV return after over 3 months, coming out to a huge reaction to take out Shane before counting the fall to book Rock back into the WrestleMania main event as the building exploded, with Rock and Vince exchanging looks in one of the most memorable endings in Raw history, peaking tonight with over 8.5 million viewers heading into the major crossover promotion for the WrestleMania pay-per-view on SNL on Saturday night. 48 hours after another milestone in the WWF's peak run, with Rock hosting SNL in front of a record TV audience of over 20 million viewers, coming after Vince McMahon promised and delivered massive ratings to NBC Saturday to see both Rock and Vince's status elevated to new heights in the TV and entertainment industries. The first Raw after the massive mainstream exposure saw Vince as he did on Saturday introducing the show in Chicago, built on a massive three-way main event, officially announced midway through the first hour, with Vince after a Triple H-Shane Big Show confrontation setting up the planned WrestleMania main event to take place on television later tonight, followed by Rock arriving to the building seconds later, bumping the segment to an hour-high 6.4 rating with 8 million viewers, with Showhunter and Rock making their entrances 6 minutes from 11 p.m., crossing over longer than usual into a 9-minute overrun, going 12 minutes in total to the third consecutive 7.3 rating peak, but with boosted viewers per home totaling over 8.7 million viewers in the overrun, which included the post-match return of Mick Foley to come out of retirement for one night to set up the four-way elimination match in 13 days. The final Raw on the road to what is targeted to be the biggest pay-per-view in history at WrestleMania 16, opened with an over 20-minute promo segment featuring the entire McMahon family, followed by all four participants in the WrestleMania four-way elimination match, running in to bump the show to a 6.9 rating in the second quarter, with a big boost in viewers per home on the night, seeing the segment totaling over 8.1 million viewers already by 9:20 p.m. and Raw's highest-rated opposed quarter in over 2 months, building to a massive main event tag match for the WrestleMania Go Home segment, with Rock and Vince McMahon teaming for the first time against Big Show and Shane to see the match jumping over 1.2 million viewers to a peak 7.6 rating in the most-watched segment of the month, drawing over 8.8 million viewers, with Rock and Vince going over to head into the pay-per-view with strong momentum on the way to a record night for the company on Sunday. "24 hours after an all-time record pay-per-view at WrestleMania 16, all-time industry milestones continued to Monday night, with Raw opening huge for the follow-up after the swerve of McMahon turning heel on Rock in the main event, seeing the first quarter with Vince's promo explanation and Rock arriving to the Staples Center, opening the show with a record viewership of over 8.5 million viewers and the biggest audience to ever watch Raw's opening quarter, with Raw which set up a show-long angle on the way to the main event of Rock against either Vince, Hunter or Shane, staying steady at record levels throughout the broadcast to hover around the 8.1 million viewers range, with the first reaction from Rock since the WrestleMania turn coming at 10:30 p.m., building up his response coming in the Raw headliner, with the Rock vs. Shane match, which saw a 3-on-1 brawl with Vince and Hunter in the overrun, picking up over 1.7 million viewers to a peak 7.6 rating with over 9.8 million viewers. One of the most watched segments in show history, with Raw overall drawing over 8.1 million viewers in the third most watched broadcast in cable TV history. One of the most memorable show-long angles in WWF history was set for Raw on May 22 for the fallout of the 60-minute Iron Man match at the Judgment Day pay-per-view, kicking off with Vince McMahon bragging about the faction's results from last night while saying that Rock might not show up tonight, setting the stage for the rest of the broadcast, with Rock taking out Vince on the way to his limousine to open Raw at a 6.3 rating with 8 million viewers and the highest-rated opening quarter since the night after WrestleMania 16, continuing with Rock taking out the entire faction over the next 2 hours in the build to the main event segment on a show which hovered around record territory from start to finish, starting and remaining over the 7 rating and 8 million viewers range throughout the night, with Rock after running through every member of the faction outside of Triple H finally coming out with 15 minutes to go in the show, calling him out to the ring, starting the show closing brawl with the entire faction returning to set up Undertaker's first TV appearance since September '99, ending up with Rock and Taker taking out the faction, with Rock laying out Hunter to close one of the hottest Raw shows of all time, with the final segment, which started at a 7.6 rating, jumping over 1.8 million viewers to a huge 8.6 rating, with a peak of over 10.5 million viewers to drive Raw to its fourth most watched show to date. The final stage of the build-up to Backlash saw the company's momentum heating up from already record levels, with the April 24th Raw built on Rock and Vince McMahon's final selling promos to the pay-per-view, setting a previously unimaginable milestone with the first full hour in history to enter the 10 million total viewers range, in an unprecedented figure not only for the WWF but cable television in general, entering record territory at 10 p.m. with Vince, after being off television in the past week, arriving to the building to open Raw's record second hour for his first response promo on Rock and Austin teaming up in 6 days, recapping the last week of storylines, talking about Austin and Rock's history to stir things up and turn them on each other, with the Vince promo taking place in the 10 p.m. quarter minutes after Nitro went off the air, seeing Raw picking up huge, with not only additional viewers but the vast majority of the WCW audience tuning into Raw to spike the show to a massive 8.1 rating with over 10.4 million viewers, the most watched full quarter hour in Raw history.